Yo, what up, y'all? So look, I made this brick by brick respect the process YouTube video like 4 or 5 years ago, right? So now I'm gonna react to it because I had started watching it. Like the dude that runs the Wealth Squad page, he posted it on the Wealth Squad page, and I was like rewatching. I'm like, damn, it's a good time to go revisit that and like, see what I'm talking about because I think this is one of the most important messages that I have and one of the most important videos that I've made. So let's get it. What's good, y'all? So I got something to get off my chest about something I've been noticing about a lot of people who want to get into this journey of building wealth or being an entrepreneur, being a trader, being an investor, whatever it is, right? It almost seems like people have no respect for the journey. So this is what it looks like to me. A lot of people are waking up day one and they're like, how can I get rich today? And then they don't hit it rich that day. So they go back to sleep. And the next day, they're like, how can I get rich today? And then they don't get rich. And then they come back the next. Hey, I actually think this is like human nature, right? I think that it's still going on. I mean, this is 2020, 2021. I think it's still going on. I think it's part of human nature for people to act like that, to think like that. And I think you have to go against the grain in order to like rewire your brain because your brain is going to be wired to like look for the quickest fix, right? So every day, I still think to this day, people wake up like, what can I do today to get rich? Like the Pinky in the Brain episode. Like, what are we going to do today? Try to take over the world every single day. So I think it's part of human nature. I think that I can't even fault people for thinking like that, but you have to go out your way and make a conscious decision to rewire the way that you think and the way that you've been programmed. Day, how can I get rich today? And they don't get rich the next day, right? Every day is day one of one to get rich. And if it doesn't work, they just repeat the cycle the next day, right? So instead of thinking of it like this, today is day one out of 7,000 days that it's going to take for me to build, I don't know, a portfolio of $500,000, right? Day one out of 7,000. Every day is day one, day one, day one, day one, 7,000 times. There's no respect for the journey. There's no respect for the process, right? It's almost like get rich today or do nothing, but they'll repeat this cycle 7,000 times while they're. The crazy part is, I don't even think people realize that they're doing it. I think they're just going, like people call it life. Like they just, what is the world going to bring me today? Like, and that's it. And then go to sleep, wake up the same, like peanut brain. Like, what is the world going to bring me today? And I don't think that they look at it. I don't think a lot of people don't look at it like, hey, today I just need to set one brick. And then tomorrow I'll be able to set another brick and then another brick. And once I have this foundation built, right, maybe it takes 6 months to build like the outside layer. And then you wake up the next day, you add on top of it, and then you add on top of this. And that takes another 6 months. Like I said, I think you have to deliberately think like that. I don't think it's a very natural thing to do because we're kind of wired to just look for the quick dopamine hit. The counterpart of the dude next to him is day one out of 7,000, day two out of 7,000, day three out of 7,000, building his empire brick by brick. That's what it seems like. So, have you ever seen somebody say, hey, if you invest $350 a month for 30 years, you'll become a millionaire? It almost seems like their mind is this group of people I'm speaking about, their mind goes into one or two places. The first group of people, their mind goes into 30 years is too long for me to become a millionaire. Who wants to wait 30 years? So what they think is year one to year 29 and the 364th day, you're just at $0. And then on the last day, you have $1 million. Yo, I still think this, man. I still think that when you go, all right, look, here's a 30-year plan for you to build wealth, or here's a 10-year plan. I don't know why, but people, it's a lot of young people too, because they can't picture themselves being older. But a lot of them think, or they instantly go to like I'm gonna be broke day one through year 10, and then on the last day I'm gonna get all my money, or I'm gonna be broke day one to year 30, and I'm gonna get all my money on the last day. Instead of seeing themselves like, all right, this year I have 5,000,
My 5,000 went to 8,000 the next year. My 8,000 went to 13,000 the next year. My 13,000 went to 11,000 the next year. My 11,000 went to 17,000. 17 went to 24. My 24, just not talking about adding any money. Just, you start with X amount of money and just watch it grow. And I think that people don't think like that. Like, it's going to be a consistent up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down on the way up. But I think people more so think it's going to be like flat, 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 flat until the last day, and then you go vertical. Like, no, bro, it doesn't work like that. I don't know why people think like that, but yes.
So when they think of this or they hear something like this, they say, who wants to wait 30 years? Who wants to wait 30 years? They don't realize by year 4, you got $50,000 saved or invested. By year 10, you got, 120 grand. They don't realize that. They think it's just zero every single day because they're too impatient. They can't wait, right? The second group of people, they say, okay, I understand the formula. I understand the process behind it. I understand the math behind it. And if I want to speed it up, let me increase my income. If I want to speed it up, then let me invest more or find investments that will return something higher annually, right? But the first group of people, it's too long for them. It's too long for them, right? So think about this. I don't mean this with no disrespect, but think about this. Think about all the 40, 50, 60, 70-year-olds that we know or that you may know. Maybe you grew up with them, maybe they're in your family, maybe you just know of them that have nothing to their name. I mean, like literally nothing.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of people who thought life was a game. Hey, I know that like we all want to have fun. Like, trust me, I'm not the fun police. Trust me, I have a lot of fun, but I don't do it at the cost of my future or my children's future. You got what I'm saying? It's cool to party. It's cool. Man, I'm coming off of a Turks trip. Before that, me and the guys were in Dubai. I was in Europe. Like, I go have my fun. Y'all follow me on social media. I know I be moving and grooving, right? Because you know that, like, I think it's like a biblical saying that you can't be so like heavenly good that you're worldly bad. I think the same thing about finances, that you can't be so portfolio good that you're like real life bad. Like, you can't dump all your money in your portfolio and then live like a bum and then call that like life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to eat you alive. But there's a time and a place for it, and it's cool to have fun and it's cool to have nice things, but at what cost? And the cost cannot be your future, right? The cost cannot be your future, nor can it be your children's future. For y'all out there who got kids, right? So I think what happens is a lot of people, you will see the 50-year-old version of them and you be like, man, I kind of felt bad for that person. Or the 60-year-old version, you're like, I feel bad for that person because they got to go be the greeter at Walmart. But what you don't see is all the years of them not thinking like, one day I'm gonna be 60, one day I'm gonna be 50. I was thinking about this when I was younger, like, hey, yo, one day I'm gonna be 33. I think I'm in my 20s in this video. I'm in my 20s in this video. I used to think like, yo, when I hit my 30s should be a lot better than my 20s. And my 20s was dope. My 20s was dope. I built companies. I went to like 43, maybe 45 different countries. My 20s was dope, but not at the cost of my 30s. Because in my 30s, I'm gonna have more responsibility. I'm gonna have children to look after. I still got the people in my family to look after. So I'm gonna do fly shit. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna be fly, but not at the cost of my future, because one day I'm gonna be 30 something. And now this is the 30 something year old version of me watching the 28-year-old, 28, 29-year-old talk about this. And I'm like, damn, bro, this is actually crazy to think like if I could go back in time and tell this dude, or even because I started already having like some motion when I dropped this video. I'm sitting in the first personal house that I bought for myself in that video, in which I still have that house, right? But if I could go even back further, 10 years ago, to the 23-year-old Chris that was saying, hey, bro, have fun, but you 23, one day you're gonna be 33. One day you're gonna have responsibilities and have to look over people that you don't even know right now, which are my children, right? You're gonna have to look after these little babies who can't look after themselves, or who it's your responsibility because you brought them in the world. So you're gonna have to love on and look after people that you do not know right now. So for y'all watching this, you don't have children. One day you're gonna have to look at their. One day you're gonna love somebody more than you can ever imagine, and you don't even know this person right now. But when you meet them, I want you to be in the position to give them experiences, to give them freedom, to give them options in this world, and not subject them to the same rat race that you have to spend all your time beating it. Once you beat the game, it's over. That's why I tell you guys, wait to celebrate. Because once I beat the game, it's over. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. My children are not going into that. You know what I'm saying? So for y'all out there who might be in your, early mid 20s, just think about this. Like one day you're gonna love somebody way more than you love yourself, right? And it could be your wife, right? It could be your children. It could be somebody else. Maybe your mom's gonna get sick. Like, knock on wood. Let's knock on wood. But I was here. But life is going to life, and you cannot avoid the pitfalls, bro. You can't avoid the agony that's gonna come with life. One day I'm gonna have to bury somebody that I love deeply again. I had to do it with my father, I had to do it with some of my friends. Right. And you're gonna have to come out of pocket for that. Life is on life, right? And you have to be prepared for this because people in your circle are gonna look at you like he's the strong one. Like, I don't really know what's going on. We come to him or we come to her. If y'all the leaders of y'all family, you know what I'm talking about, right? So look out for your future self and look out for your future loved ones, right? Because the day is coming, bro. And if you take care of business earlier, life gets better.
To their name, right? If they would have saved $100 a year, let's say a 50-year-old with nothing to his name, right? If they would have saved $100 a year for the last 30 years, they'd have way more money than they have now, right? $100 a year. It's very simple. We're talking $10 a month, $12 a month, right? $12 a month will bring you at $120 every year. $120 a year times 30 years. They started working when they were 20 years old. Now they're 50. So for 30 years, 100, they don't even have.
Hey, RJ, if y'all from LA, I know RJ. RJ said a little change won't change me, but pennies add up. That's exactly how it go, man. You think the money that you put away right now ain't a big deal until it compounds. Like y'all know, like I'm in the Bitcoin space, right? So somebody hit me on Twitter yesterday and he had bought $125 worth of Bitcoin. And some people would think that's not a lot, but in 10 years, when Bitcoin's at $1 million, that means every time he pressed buy for $100, looking back, he's going to be like, damn, every time I press buy, I was actually buying $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? And I imagine probably this takes 5 years. So imagine if your budget, you can only put away $100 a week, but then because you can only put away $100 a week because you make 40 grand a year, right? Looking back in 5 years, you're gonna say I was putting away $4,000. I was putting away $4,000 a month, but I only made $40,000 a year, right? That shit add up. Pennies add up. It's compounding. We only think linearly, like linearly, linearly. Yeah, like in a line, straight line, linearly, right? But change happens exponentially. You know what I'm saying? So you think if you're watching your account day by day, you're gonna think like, oh, my 123 went down to 100. Like, okay, my 100 went up to 150, whatever. You fast forward 4 years and you be like, whoa, every time I press buy for $100, it's now worth 1,000. If you have a Swan account for Bitcoin, you can go into your Swan and you could check all your buys. I made videos of it before, but sometimes I was buying Bitcoin with $2,000 worth 10,000. Sometimes I was buying with 100 grand and it's worth 450 grand. Every time I press buy, it multiplied. But you got to let time do what time does. So don't overlook that stuff, man. Brick by brick, I'm telling you.
That, right? And it's because they had this mentality of only living for today. See, a lot of people can't picture themselves getting any older, right? They can't picture the 50-year-old, the 20-year-old can't picture himself being 50 years old. But next thing you know, he wakes up, he's 50 years old, he doesn't have anything to show for it. He's been working every single day, just getting by, doing his little thing, never thinking about the future, right? When he could have put away $100 every year. That's very, very minimal, right? So it almost seems like people take things day by day. They have no respect of like laying the foundation or building your empire brick by brick by brick, right? So think about this. Are you in a better position or worse position than you were 5 years ago? Or are you in the same position? If you're in the same position, you
All right, let's do some quick math real quick. Let's say somebody only saved, well, 100 a month, $1,200 a year, right? But they 50 and they started when they were 20, right? That's 30 years. Not invested, just saved, right? Not invested, just saved. They have $36,000. You save it, you probably got closer to $300,000. I mean, if you invest it, you probably have closer to 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, right? We're talking about just saving. Like, but if you tell somebody right now at $20 at 20 years old, yo, at the bare minimum, save $1,000 for every year of your life, they're gonna be like, what, bro? You're not thinking about that. Then you look up the people who are 50 and they don't have a pot to piss in, bro. This shit is sad, man. This shit is about survival, and I want y'all to live a good life. So, yeah.
may be one of those people who think day in, day out, day in.
Oh, hold on. So I was just saying, hold on. Let me go back a little bit. Go back a little bit.
Right? When he could have put away $100 every year. That's very, very minimal. Right? So it almost seems like people take things day by day. They have no respect of like laying the foundation or building your empire brick by brick by brick. Right? So think about this. Are you in a better position or worse position than you were 5 years ago? Or are you in the same position?
All right. I'm gonna speak on myself because I'm issuing the challenge. I talked to y'all, but I issued a challenge to myself. That house I'm sitting in right now, like I said, I still got it. Right. I bought the house for 530. It's worth like 800. I still got it, right? But I don't live there no more. Right. I gave the house to my mom. I don't live there no more. And the reason why that's important is because if I'm telling y'all, like, yo, in 4 years, we gonna see who was bullshitting. We gonna see who was getting to it. My house now kind of crazy. The house now is looking good now. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you know back then I was not just yapping, bro. And 4 years before that, I was in apartments, right? I went from the apartments to that house, 4 years. Then 4 years later, I end up in this house, right? And this house is 3 times the size of that house. And it's paid off, right? And it's because I was taking care of business brick by brick. You know what I'm saying? If you take care of business and you wake up every day and lay the foundation, your life will improve. There's no two ways about it. There's no two ways about it. You take care of business, your life will get better, right? But this ain't something you can, oh, I'm motivated for a week. Oh, I'm motivated for a month. Nah, bro, I'm a robot. Every day I wake, man, I don't care if the world crash. I'm gonna get up and take care of my business. It's not even negotiable. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to ask yourself that too. Like, yo, am I in a better position 4 years ago? Or was I, if I'm not, why? But in 4 years, you're gonna look back to today and think the same thing. In 4 years, I'm gonna clip this video. I'm gonna have like a villa in Fiji somewhere. I'm gonna clip this video and be like, hey, that house I was living in that I told y'all was nice, gave it to my mom. Now I live in Fiji, right? I'm just gonna keep hustling. So look back 4 years ago, you were better or worse position.
If you're in the same position, you may be one of those people who think day in, day in, day out, not thinking about the next day, right? If you're in a better position, you may be one of those people who are thinking, I'm just laying a foundation. I'm laying a foundation. I'm laying a foundation. Think about this. If you make $50,000 a year and 10 years go by, you've made $500,000, right? If you just save 10% of that, you'd have 50 grand, right? If you save 30% of that, you'd have $150,000.
And we talking about saving, not investing. We talking about saving, not investing. You invest 10 grand a year for 10 years at 30%, what's going to give you 30% Bitcoin? Go pull up an investment calculator. All right, I got an investment calculator pulled up. We got $10,000 a year after 10 years, return rate 30%. I think Bitcoin's been doing like 60%, but cool. Additional contribution, we're gonna say $10,000 at the end of every year, right? Or we could say, let's see, 10,000 divided by, or we could say $833 a month. So you don't gotta put it all in the lump sum at the beginning of every month, right? Which I think this number gonna be crazy. 630 grand, $10,000 a month. I mean, $10,000 a year, right? $10,000 a year. Some of y'all could do a lot more than that. All right. What if the return rate on Bitcoin is 45% for the next 10 years? You got $1.5 million. But remember, you only make $50,000 a year. Come on, man. All right. Let's go back down to 30% because I don't want to hear no bitching complaining. Right. But what about the people who could do 20,000 a year? Because you don't want nice cars, because you just want to kick back, man. You willing to forego the fly shit at 30%, 768,000. At 45%, you got $2 million. You 25 years old right now. 25 years old right now. 10 years, you're gonna be 35 with 2 M's. Sound like freedom to me. You know what I'm saying? Sound like freedom to me. But if you're 25, you gotta ask yourself what type of 35-year-old you want to be. If you're 50 years old watching this, you need to ask yourself what type of 60-year-old do you want to be? The age is no excuse because you're going to get older. Time will pass regardless.
But most people can't see themselves 10 years from now, right? They can't see themselves reaping the benefit 10 years from now. You can save, you can work, you can hustle, you can build things for the next 10 years of your life and be set up for the next 50 years of your life. For you 20-year-olds out there, think about this. You're 20 years old, you spend these 10 years building something, right? Now you're 30 and you can live and thrive and kind of chill for the next until you die, really. You're 30 years old and you can live off of the principle that you've been stacking up, or you can kind of throttle back where you're not working as hard or investing as much.
Y'all got this tweet that I put on Twitter a few times. It went viral every time. It says being broke at 30 starts at 20. I'm so serious, bro. While you 20, you got to go hard. Hey, if you could show up to your local gym, play 15 games of basketball, imagine the amount of work you could do. Right? Let's get off work, go to your other job. Like, go hard while you young, bro. And in life, it's like an uphill. This is how it worked. This is how my life worked. From 18 to 24 was like steep uphill. I was in the military. And I was a full-time student and I was building my watch company. It was a steep uphill grind. And I would travel around too. Like I told you, I've been to a lot of countries, right? Steep uphill grind every day. Like I'm going to sleep tired, right? But then when things start working, right? So this is how much work and effort you putting in, right? And then when things start clicking, you're like, oh, damn. Actually, life is just smooth now, right? Your work, your physical labor goes like this, and your money goes like this, right? Now I get paid for the shit I know. I get paid for experience, but I had to go put that legwork in. I get paid because I have a large portfolio of assets that are growing. But I had to go bust my ass, bro. life got easier because I put in the work early, and I want you to do the same thing. Matter of fact, even if you're 30, life could be so much different when you're 40. Same thing when you're 40, life could be so much different when you're 50. You 67 years old, what type of 77-year-old do you want to be? Right? Brick by brick. And I know people are going to overlook this because they don't see themselves being the older version of themselves. Shout out to the 23-year-old me for looking out for today's me. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to just keep making everything about myself. I'm letting y'all know, like, bro, this is why my message is my message, because I seen it play out. I know what I was thinking back then. I know I was thinking, bro, one day you're going to be 30. One day you're going to have kids. One day you're going to fall in love with a woman. You want to give her nice things. I was thinking that. I was in the clubs too, partying too, but not at the cost of my future. All right.
But you laid the foundation for the first 10 years. But people can't see themselves 10 years from now. They can't imagine a 10-year plan playing out. Everyone has this attitude or this mentality of like, if you don't get rich young, then it doesn't count. Some of the population, and they have this, if you don't get rich young, it doesn't count. And some of the population has this, we're just going to save and save and save. And one day when we're old, we're going to enjoy our lives. And you should know that there's a happy medium where, you can enjoy your life now while you're taking care of business. You just got to take care of business first. You take care of business in the morning, and then at night you can go have fun. Or you take care of business during the week, and then the weekend you can go have fun. So as long as that fun that you have on the weekend doesn't undo the process or undo the progress that you've made all week, if you get what I'm saying, right?
So you have a good week at work, right? Maybe you're in sales. You have a good week. You sell X amount. You got a little $3,000 commission check. You take that $3,000 to go pop bottles in the club, hustling backwards. Right? You take that money, you go buy you some Bitcoin. All right, you're looking out for your future. Right? So I want you to think about that. Look at this. Look at this right here. The average age someone becomes a millionaire. The average age someone becomes a millionaire is around 57 years old. Right? For some reason, we think we got to get it young. But it's not like they have zero the whole time and then they turn around and boom, hit a million. Right? All right, cool. 57. I'm just trying to help y'all beat that. I'm trying to help y'all get there a little bit faster. You can get there faster if you start earlier.
So I just want to say that, man, a lot of people can't imagine this being day one of 7,000 or being day one of 10,000. They think of day one of 10,000 times, So on the 10,000 day, they're no closer than what they were 10,000 days ago. With the other person who's at day 10,000 of 10,000, now their journey is complete. Now they reach this milestone. All right. So I'm just starting to notice that a lot of people don't have respect for the process. They think everything is like it's going to happen overnight. It's not.
Another thing too, when I talk about laying bricks, it's not just saving and investing money, it's building skills. Right? You get paid the big bucks for being the best at what you do. And if you took 7,000 days, hypothetically, to master a skill, like to make swords, right? And you would sell them swords for 50, 60, 70,000. I was watching a YouTuber do that. I'm like, damn, it took him his whole life to get this good. And now that he's the best at what he does, he can command any price that he wants. The money, it follows mastery, right? You think when they put a basketball in LeBron James' hands, they say, hey, 5-year-old LeBron, we're going to pay you millions of dollars for you to learn this skill. No, he had to learn the skill first. Now he's the most, one of the most skillful players, and now the money comes. The skills come before the money. The knowledge comes before the money. The money is a receipt for everything that you went through. That's it. The skills, the knowledge, the experience, it comes first. So when you're building that brick, day 1 of 7,000, day 2 of 7,000, day 3 of 7,000, when you get to day 2,000 out of 7,000, you're a lot more skilled. You have a lot more experience. You have a lot more knowledge than you did day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the chances that you make more money on day 2000 than you do on day one, very high. Right. And once you get to the mastery level, you command whatever price you want because you're him, you're her. You do this for real. People want to pay the experts. People want to pay the people who are very good at something. If I pay somebody to come paint my house, I'm not paying someone who started yesterday. So if it's $15,000 to paint the exterior of my house, I'm not paying someone who started yesterday. It's $50,000 to come paint the interior of my house. I'm not paying someone who started yesterday. I need the experts. So it's your goal, your journey to go become the expert. The money will come later. Right? You'll spend 5 years trying to master something, and then in 1 month, you'll make more money than you did the last 4 years. The last 5 years, you'll make more money in 1 month than you've made your whole life. Right? Because the money comes from expertise, skill, and knowledge, precision. The money is a receipt for all the shit you went through.
Not going to happen overnight. You know, I'm on year 6 of my entrepreneur journey. So I'm 29 years old. You know, I'm on year 6, and I really didn't see any action until year 3. The first two years, it was dead. It was just movement, but I was learning, right? So the same way that money compounds, the later on that you go in the years, so does knowledge and skill. So something that might have taken you 2 or 3 months, a project that might have taken you 2 or 3 months to sit down, research, get your resources in order to execute. Now, you know, year 5, year 6, you can do this in 1 week, or maybe you can do this in 1 day, or maybe you can delegate this task to someone else, tell them all the important things that need to get done while you focus on something else. So now you're moving like a more well-oiled machine than you were year 1. So the same way.
And another thing about delegation too is, one, you want to pay people who are best at their job, and 2, it helps a lot if you know what they're doing. So if you're starting something and you're the marketer, the salesperson behind the scenes, packing the orders, shipping the orders, getting new leads, and then closing, you're doing all this and you get good at it. But now you're like, okay, I don't want to be a hustler no more. I want to be a business owner. So now you start hiring people. Well, it's easier to hire people if you know, like, all right, what's your process? Okay, I know that they're proficient in what they're doing, right? And that prevents you from bad hires. That prevents you from losing money. Another thing that's a skill is losing money. Bro, you're going to lose so much money on your way to the top. I think you forgive people on your way to happiness, and I think you lose on your way to winning. But you want to make your mistakes when your portfolio is $2,000. Oh, shit, I made a $800 mistake. Now I'm down to $1,200. Make that $800 mistake as many times as you need to, because when you get to the next level, it's going to be an $8,000 mistake. And then when you get to the next level, it's going to be an $80,000 mistake. And then when you get to the next level, guess what? It's going to be an $800,000 mistake that you otherwise would have been making. You don't want to get to where you're going straight up, because then you're going to avoid all those lessons you need to learn. And then when you start losing, you're going to lose big. When you could have been losing, making your mistakes on the path to mastery. So now when people bring me ideas and stuff, I'm like, nah, no thanks, bro. I kind of see the pitfalls, which younger me probably would have hopped on those opportunities. And then when it blows up, when the whole thing blows up, I'm like, damn, man, I would have lost M's. Good thing I already knew not to do that. You know what I'm saying? Same thing when your portfolio goes down. So last summer when Bitcoin got hit, I made a video saying like, oh, I went from being, I think the peak of my portfolio was like 11 M's, and then the market got rocked and I went down to like 8.5, 9. So I'm like, the reason I don't care to be down 2, 3 M's is because I got comfortable being, when I went down $2,000, $3,000 when I first started off, that shit would make my stomach hurt. Then you get used to it. Then you go down 20K. Then you get used to it. Then you go down 200K. Then you get used to it. Then you go down 2 million. You get used to it. This sell off, when we went from 109, we went from $109,000 Bitcoin to $74,000 Bitcoin. My Bitcoin, my portfolio dropped like $5 million. You know what I was doing? In Dubai, in Turks, hooping, losing weight, working out, being a family man, being a dad. Don't care. It's preparing me to go down 50 million. I'll be down 50 million. I'll still be doing the same thing. It's a skill that you learn, bro. You want to learn those skills. You got to enjoy like being in the trenches.
That money compounds, knowledge compounds, skill compounds, and now you can avoid simple rookie mistakes that you were making, right? But if you never start this journey, you're never going to get to the point where you're firing on all cylinders and you're making this happen, you're making this happen, and you can delegate and you can, knock out what's important and have everybody else doing the things that aren't important because you keep looking at everything as day one of one. Tomorrow is day one of one again. The next day is day one of one again, right? Brick by brick is how empires are built. Brick by brick, day by day. So when you look up 5, 6, 7 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now, you're like, man, I can't even believe I made it this far. A lot of times people ask me, they like to ask me, what's the hardest part of the journey? And I would say it's consistency. Consistency is going to take you where you need to go. People really underestimate how much you can get done if you knock out just 3 or 4 tasks every single day, right? Think about this. You knock out 3 important tasks every day. Let's say each task takes you an hour. 3 important tasks that take an hour. That's 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year versus trying to take over the world for 8 days.
All right. The math on that. 3 tasks a day for 365 days, right? You got done 1,095 things, right? You did 1,095 tasks, right? Or you go hard a few days, you lock in. You know how people be locking in for 6 months. Negro, it's about to take you years. It's about to take you years. Talking about lock in for 6 months. Please. It's going to take you years, bro. And you're going to be glad it took you years. Because when you get to where you're going, when you beat this rat race, you're not looking back. You're going to have all the skills that you need in your Duffy, in your bag to not look back. Get there in 6 months. You'll be off in 6 months. Get on top in 6 months. You'll be off in 6 months. Right? I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about all the people back then that was preaching that get rich quick shit. None of them are around no more. 2021, get rich quick hustlers. This video was made in 2021. Think about all the people y'all know that was getting money in 2021. Everybody had money in 2021. Who got it right now? Easy come, easy go. They didn't master no skills. The economy got flooded with bread. Everybody was walking around like they was El Chapo. Who got it now? Who's on top now? It comes from mastery, dog. It comes from mastery. It comes from skills. And on top of that, you're going to have to blow some money a few times because you got natural human urges. But I bet you go through that cycle 2-3 times. You can be like, next time the economy get hot and everybody got money, nah, I'm just buying some assets, bro. I'm about to lay low, buy some assets. Nah, take my family to Disneyland. I'm out the way. I'm not popping big shit. But then when the economy goes down, you be like, damn, bro, you still on top, bro? Hey, one of my neighbors. So this house, check this out. I got a funny story for y'all. This house is in Las Vegas, right? Y'all know that next year I had bought a Lamborghini because I hit big on a trade, right? If I didn't hit on that trade, I wouldn't have that Lamborghini. I hit big on a trade. So that car for that house don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? That car for that house don't make sense. So when I move out to Texas, I send a Lambo there. So I still go back, to the Vegas house. My mom lived there. I still go back to the Vegas house, I know my neighbors thinking like, yep, easy come, easy go. One of my neighbors hit me with that. Hey, man, what happened to that Lamborghini? And hey, man, what happened to that Lamborghini? It's in my Texas house. Still got it. Like he said on some condescending shit. I know. I still got it, bro. Right? A lot of people was getting bread in 2021, bro. And if you were in that position, let it be a lesson learned. The next time you touch bread, put it away. Put away some money for a rainy day. there are very, 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 very few people who are wealthier right now than they were in 2021 because they weren't thinking that the rainy day was ever going to come. Now, if you go around during a rainy day, right? You go around telling people, hey, you should have saved for a rainy day. Hey, you should have saved for a rainy day. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. You're going to be looked at like an asshole. Bro, what? Why are you talking about this right now, bro? We're going through something right now. Why are you talking about this? But if you the dude at the pool party telling people like, hey, this party cool, man, make sure you grab your umbrella on the way out. Why are you talking about an umbrella, bro? We're in the middle of California. It's 95 degrees at a pool party. It's palm trees blowing. And this dude right here talking about an umbrella. It's a lose-lose situation, but you know what you got to do, right? When shit get too hot, when you start thinking like, damn, this is unbelievable, you need to start thinking about the future, bro. This shit is about survival, longevity.
For 8 hours a day, 4 days a week, you know, and then you take the weekends off, you take the other days off, you're on vacation. Like, bro, consistency is the hardest part of this game. Waking up and doing things that you don't feel like doing, right? How you're going to get to where you're going to get is doing the things that need to be done when they need to be done every time they need to be done. That's it. There's no magic formula. There's no secret anything. That's it. You do the things that need to be done when they need to be done and how they need to be done. And you do them over and over and over and over again. Every day you wake up, you
don't even think about it. You don't even think about it. What needs to be done? When does it need to be done? I'm doing it right now. Get it out the way. You have decision fatigue. You wait till the end of the day, you're going to be, I'm going to wait till tomorrow. Then those 3 tasks that I told you to do every day, 3 tasks a day for a whole year. If it take you 30 minutes, you got 23 hours and 30 minutes to enjoy the rest of your day. If it take you 3 hours, if it take you 15 hours, you ain't enjoying your day. I promise you, you're going to get more proficient and efficient at doing what you got to do. Right?
lay a layer, lay a brick. The next day, lay another brick. The next day, lay another brick. By year 5, year 6, by year 15, you look back and now you have a whole castle. All right. So that's a message for today. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I feel like a lot of people don't have respect for the process. So empires are built day by day, brick by brick, man.
All right, y'all. So yeah, looking back, even listening to my younger self give me advice right now. Like, bro, like I'm talking to y'all, but I'm really talking to me. And then looking how my life played out. And I'm like, I'm glad I'm always looking out for OG Chris. The young Chris always looking out for the OG. Always. Always. Right? The young Chris always looking out. So just and think about this, bro. I'm not to where I want to be yet. I'm not to where I want to be yet. I want to be a billionaire. I'm going to be a billionaire. And when I get there, I'm going to look back at 33-year-old Chris and be like, hey, bro, I'm glad that even though you was touching bread and you was touching a lot for what you had at that time, I'm glad you wasn't fucking it off. I'm glad on your weekends you spent time reading, learning about the whole economy, learning about the monetary system. I'm glad you spent your time like that. Like I envision, and y'all, if y'all don't know, came out rough. And I always envision fly shit. Always envision fly shit. No matter how bad shit got for me, as soon as I become an adult, it's up. It's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna be a wrap. Now where I'm at, I envision, oh, my kids are older. We're gonna be on a big ass boat in Monaco. Champagne toast to pops. I envision this and I work for it. What do I need to do to get there? I need more knowledge. I need more skill. Right? What are the people who are right there doing right now? What were they doing when they were my age? Like Nip said, study rich niggas moves like my homework. What are you reading? What are you learning? Where are you getting your news sources from? Because I'm on that. All right, y'all. So this is the brick by brick recording reaction. Never did one of these before, but it's pretty cool. So shout out to young me for looking out for older me. Shout out to younger you for looking out for older you. And shout out to right now you looking out for future you. All right. Brick by brick, empires are built. I'm out.